If I talk about blood, okay, I guess now I'm audible. So okay, welcoming you everyone. So here we have Ankit, we have Aman over here. So I guess now I'm audible, isn't it? Aman, can you listen what I'm saying? Am I audible? If yes, please comment. Or should I get checked? Yeah, okay, fine. So what I was saying, today we are discussing blood, that is human circulatory system. This is the important section for the examination because from here questions can be seen. What type of questions? How RBC is helpful? What is WBC? How WBCs are playing that significant role in our body? Apart from that, there are several questions which are asked from the heart as well. We'll be covering all those important concepts. In between, we'll be keeping all the important questions which were asked previously, and in the ending also, we'll be covering all the CGL questions which are important from this part. Yes, so without any delay, we are starting it. Blood. What is blood? If I talk about blood, it is that red component, that red fluid which is flowing with our body, and we all have seen that while playing cricket or while doing some mischievous activities when we were small, when we were younger. We all have actually suffered from that cut, and from that bleeding came. Remember, that particular bleeding was what? Actually, your blood was coming out. Now, if I'm talking about that blood, how can I say what is it? I'll say that it is actually a fluid connective tissue. Remember what I'm saying? Fluid connective tissue. This means it is actually liquid in state and it is tissue. So in examination it is asked, 4 options will be given and you will be asked which amongst the following is the tissue. So here you can say that blood is a fluid connective tissue. Now, we are saying that it is a spatial connective tissue. Now, if someone asks you about its pH value, please remember its pH value is 7.4. Now, since I'm talking about the pH value, what is it? pH value actually denotes what all things are acidic in nature, what all things are basic in nature. We are aware of, if I'll write the value 0 to 6.x, that is 6.99 something, it is considered as acidic in nature, or that particular thing is acid. If the value is exactly 7, it means the thing is neutral in nature. And if anything is greater than 7, the pH value is greater than 7 till 14, it is what? It is basic or alkaline in nature. So it is very obvious. No, Ankit, it's not that all the organisms are not having red colored blood. Now, what all types of color would be there? I'll give you an example. If I talk about octopus, octopus is actually having blue color blood. Fine. Hello HR, vanakkam, no issues, welcome here. So HR, Ankit was the one who was asking me, sir, do all organisms has red color blood? No, it's not like that. Apart from the red color, there are several other colors, where I'm taking the example of an octopus. Octopus, which is actually having 8 limbs. Now this particular octopus blood color is blue in color. Fine. So it actually depends from organisms to organism. Fine. Now, one more question comes. If we are having a red color blood, why is it red? Because of the presence of hemoglobin. Fine. So it actually depends. So here, what I was saying, blood is a spatial connective tissue which consists of a fluid matrix, that is the liquid part. Apart from that, plasma is there and formed elements are there. Now, one more thing. If someone asks you what would be the quantity of the blood in our body, please remember it is around 5 to 6 liters. It is around 5 to 6 liters. Fine. So this was the quantity. This was the pH value. Now, let's move forward with the question. There's a question which is asked in CGL 2011. The question was, what is the pH value of human blood? Let's see who can give this answer. There are 4 options. Who is going to give this correct answer? Let's see. Thank you, Ankit, for the same. And yeah, cockroaches are also not having your red color blood. When you will see, I will not say that kill him, or kill it, but when you'll kill it, you will be getting white colored structure. So Udbhav has joined and is given the D answer. HR is the first one to give D answer. And yes, you all are correct. We have already discussed. If I'm talking about the pH value, it is 7.4. That means our blood is basic in nature, or we can say alkaline in nature. We have just discussed. Moving forward now. Now, talking about plasma, what is it? We were discussing, if I'm talking about blood, this blood is actually divided into two components. One is your plasma. Okay, Udbhav? One is your plasma and another one is blood corpuscles, where blood corpuscles includes RBC, WBC and platelets. But if I talk about the percentage, 55% of your blood is plasma and 45% is blood corpuscles, which includes RBC, WBC and platelets. One by one, we'll be understanding about everything. First of all, let's discuss about plasma. What is it? Plasma is that liquid which is straw colored. No doubt, it is the part of blood. Fine. So, this plasma is straw colored. It is viscous fluid consisting nearly 55% of the blood. We have discussed what? 55% is the plasma and 45% is the blood corpuscle, where RBC, WBC and platelets are there. Just have a look. If I talk about plasma, there is 90 to 92% of water. How much? Hello, what I am saying? Here 90 to 92% is water and rest 6 to 8% is actually your proteins. Now, which protein are there? This is asked in the examination. Which proteins are there? Here it includes fibrinogen. Then it is having globulins, albumins. These all proteins are present in plasma. Now, one question is there which is asked in the examination. We have seen there is a protein that is fibrinogen and we are talking about plasma. Now, there is a question for HR and all the other candidates. What if I subtract fibrinogen from plasma? Can you tell me what is that called? I am saying if I subtract fibrinogen from plasma, what it is known as? Can you tell me? This was the question which was asked in the examination. And everyone here who has joined the session, please like it and share it as much as possible. So waiting for you all. What I am saying that if I subtract fibrinogen from plasma, it will give you what? It is going to give you what? It will give you what? Yes, you are guessing it right. It is actually your serum. So if someone asks you about serum, please remember plasma minus fibrinogen is actually your serum. Fine. Yeah. Now, let's move forward now. If I talk about RBC. Now, what is RBC? We discussed blood corpuscles. Blood corpuscles were 45%, in which RBC, WBC and platelets were there. So, Pintu has joined us. Hello, Pintu. Good evening. How are you? So, what I was saying, if I talk about RBC, please remember its name erythrocytes as well. This is asked in the examination. Erythrocytes, leukocytes, thrombocytes. So, please remember erythrocytes are RBCs. These are most abundant of the cells in the blood which contains hemoglobin. Yes, hemoglobin is the same part because of which our blood is actually red in color. So, this hemoglobin imparts red color to the blood. This hemoglobin is actually giving red color to the blood, and remember, blood is having iron. What? Iron. So, if someone asks you, blood is given red color by whom, or which particular component is giving blood red color, so that is your hemoglobin. Now, you must be wondering, sir, this erythrocytes, you have already told it is RBC. Now, what is this leukocyte? So, remember, erythrocyte is what? RBC. Leukocyte is actually your WBC, and here platelets are written. So, is there any name for platelets as well? Yes, platelets are also known as thrombocytes. Thrombocyte. So, question can be asked in one way or another. You must remember, and they collectively are known as formed elements. And as already discussed, 55% was plasma and 45% were these components. Yeah, Ankit, that's true. So it is actually 45%. Now, if I talk about the quantity, so in males it is around 5 to 5.5 million. In males it is around 5 to 5.5 million. If I talk about females, it is around 4.5 to 5 million. Now, correct, Ankit, totally correct. Yeah. So here, this was about RBC. Now, there's a question for you all. If someone asks you about the lifespan of RBC, so what would be the answer? Now, this question is from SSC DU 2011. What is the lifespan of RBC? See, everything has its expiry, isn't it? Whether I take any of the cold drink, or if I talk about my age or your age, we all have an expiry date, isn't it? If I talk about humans' age, so for the humans, it is around 70 to 75 years. So in the similar way, if I talk about the lifespan of RBC, so it's 120 days. But let me write the average for you. It is around 80 to 120 days. What? 80 to 120 days. So HR, you are totally correct. Ankit, Om, Udbhav, you all were correct. Correct answer is 80 to 120 days. It is an average that we can say that 120 days is the average for males. Now, see, if we talk about our body, we were born from our mother, isn't it? In the similar way, RBC actually comes from bone marrow. It comes from bone marrow. So this is actually the birth part. Now, if everything has taken birth, it must be doing something. What it does? Yeah, HR, totally correct, totally correct. See, if it would be lesser, there would be issue in your body. We know that. What is that? That would be anemia. I'll be discussing about that. It's pernicious anemia. If hemoglobin's quantity is less, we say that it is anemic. That a particular person is anemic in nature. I'll be telling about that. But let's wait right now. Its birth is from bone marrow. That is your red bone marrow. If I talk about its work, what it will do? It will be helping in the transportation of the oxygen. This RBC actually helps in the transportation of the oxygen. Now, it must be dying somewhere. So if I talk about its death, it actually dies in the spleen. It dies in the spleen. All these three things are important. Apart from that, we have already discussed its average lifespan is of 120 days for the men. Now, these are the important things. Moving forward. So, if I talk about RBC more, it is red in color because of the presence of hemoglobin. Apart from that, if I talk about the standard hemoglobin count, which Ankit was actually asking, it's 14.5 milligram of hemoglobin in every 100 ml of blood. But this is actually for males. For females, its value is 12. For females, 12. For males, 14.5. Now, if this value actually degrades, if this value actually goes down, then the person is actually called anemic. That is, person is suffering from anemia. Now, how we say that person is anemic? Hemoglobin is lesser than its standard. Where RBC is created, it is created in bone marrow. So, HR, Ankit, Pintu, Udbhav, Om, are all these things clear? Everyone, are these things clear? And everyone is requested to kindly like this and share this session as much as possible because it is going to be very, very important. Yeah. So, is it clear? Everyone, waiting for the answer. Clear? If it is clear, then we'll be going to this question. RBCs are produced by what? Is it liver, hormone, bone marrow, or heart? This was asked in metric level 2002. Let's see who is going to give this answer. Okay, Ankit. Yeah, waiting for the answer. RBCs are produced by what? Is it liver? Is it hormone? Is it bone marrow? Or is it heart? And if I talk about heart, then you must be thinking of 14th February, isn't it? Your favorite Valentine's Day. So we'll be having discussion on this heart as well. So everyone is with C. HR is with C. Om is with C. Ankit is with C. Udbhav is with C. Okay, Pintu is with C. So you all are with C. And that's true. Bone marrow is the correct answer. And someone asks you which colored. So it would be red colored. Fine. So red bone marrow. So Megha is also joined and the answer is correct. Totally correct. The correct answer is bone marrow. Next. Hemoglobin contains the metal dash. This was asked in SSC Constable 2012. Let's see who gives this answer. The question is, hemoglobin contains which metal? We have discussed it just 5 minutes before. Who can give this answer? Pinto, Udbhav, Om, HR. Who would be the first one to answer this? Ankit is also there. HR is there. Who is going to give this answer? And everyone is requested to kindly like this session and share it as much as possible. It's HR is the first one. No, Pinto is the first one to give C. HR is with C. Om is with C. Ankit is with C. And everyone is with C. So I'll go with this iron. That is Fe. And that's true. It is iron. One more thing. If someone asks you, which is that particular component that is giving red color to the blood? So this red color of the blood is actually given by hemoglobin itself. Fine. So iron is present there. Now, before moving forward, let me tell you there's an application of example where you can have the live paid courses with test series. Apart from the job alert, admit card and examination date would be given. Whatever test you give, you will be getting a report cards. There are current affairs which are there. There are several things which are going to help you out. So what you have to do, just go to the Play Store. Then type example over there. Click on the install button. Then open it. Just register and start using it. One more thing is there. UPSSC PT examination is coming. So we have the test series of rupees 999, but you have to just pay rupee 1 by using code PT99, which is going to give you a huge discount. At just rupee 1, you can start using this test series, which is having 10 full length tests, then section test for every subject, live discussion of full length test. Now, we have discussed about RBC. Talking about WBC, that is leukocyte, it is also known as policeman of our body. What it is known as? It is known as policeman of our body. Now you must be thinking, sir, what? Policeman? How we can say that it is a policeman? See, policeman does what? It prevents us from several mischievous people or those particular people whom we don't like. It can be thief, it can be dacoits, anything. In the similar manner, our body doesn't want that virus should come there, bacteria should come there. Or in short, I can say that our body wants prevention from microbes. So that prevention is given by our WBC white blood cell, which is actually acting like a policeman, and it is providing you immunity. Immunity is given by WBC white blood cell. It is actually colorless because there is no such hemoglobin. Apart from that, we can say that it is nucleated. That means cells have a nucleus. Now there's a question for you all. This question is important for CGL. What about RBC? Does RBC have nucleus? Let's see who can give this answer. This question is very, very important. What I'm asking, does RBC consist of nucleus? Is RBC having nucleus? Who can tell me RBC is having nucleus or not? Yes or no? My statement is RBC has nucleus. Now you must tell me yes or no. Oh, Modbhav, Pinto, HR, Ankit, everyone. RBC has nucleus. This is my statement. Who can tell me? And this is the important one. Whatever I am saying important, this is because that particular question has already been asked and is asked many times in other exams as well. So, waiting for the answer. Ankit is the first one to say no. Om is saying no. And then Udbhav is saying no. That means you all are with no. Totally correct. RBC doesn't have any nucleus. Why? There's a reason behind it. See, if nucleus will not be there, that means there would be a lot of space over there, isn't it? And that particular space is actually helping you in the transferring of oxygen. Oxygen's transportation is done by RBC, and it is done easily because nucleus is not there. So there's a larger space for that. Oh, Happy has joined us. So how are you, Happy? And HR has also given the answer no. So this means Happy, HR, Udbhav, Om, you all are correct. You all are correct that RBC is not consisting of nucleus, but WBC is, and its lifespan is of 2 to 5 days. Now there is a disease which everyone knows. What is it? It is AIDS. What I'm talking about? AIDS. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. What is the issue in this AIDS? AIDS is such a disease in which our immunity just falls down, it actually degrades. Now what will happen if immunity will go down? Whatever microbe comes in, it will create issue for us. This microbe, any of the microbe, whatever it is, your body will not be able to tolerate that. That's why we must take care of it. Fine, yeah, happy. So it's very important, we must take care of it. What? We must prevent ourselves from this. Now there are several precautions for that, I am not going with that part, but please remember what is going to happen in this condition. Immunity degrades. This means what we can say, WBC's value also goes down. Now WBC's value will go down, this means it's very obvious immunity will go down, and your body will not be able to fight with all those microbes, no matter it is bacteria, it is virus, whatever it is. So if even someone sneezes, at that moment it can even lead to a death. So it's very serious issue. Fine. So what I was saying, in the AIDS, immunity goes down because WBC's count degrades. Next, what is the main function of WBC? It was asked in CPO 2017. Let's see who can link this. Pintu, even you are my favorite student. Actually, all of you are my favorite student. And Pintu, it's good that I am seeing you in this class and you're regular over here and you're giving the correct answers. Awesome. So whatever doubt you have, you can just let me know. So everyone who has just connected, please like this video and share it. And yes, I'm asking everyone, what is the main function of WBC? So these are 4 options. Let's see who gives the correct answer first. Pintu is the first one to give answer B. That is to fight against the infection. Others, who is going to give this answer? Udbhav is with B, Ankit is with B, then, yeah. So everyone is with B. HR, actually you are lacking today. Otherwise, HR was always the first one to give the answer. But it's good that others are also going at the first level. Okay, so what I'm saying, if I talk about the transportation of oxygen, it is done by whom? It is actually done by RBC, correct? If I talk about the fighting against infection, it is done by WBC. If I talk about blood clotting, so we were discussing about fibrinogen, isn't it? There was a protein that was actually helping in the blood coagulation. That was fibrinogen. Apart from that, we can also say that blood clotting, for the blood clotting, vitamin K plays a significant role. Correct? Now, if I talk about the coloring of the blood, red color of the blood is given by whom? It's me. So it's me is with B, Abhishek is with B. So we have Abhishek over here. And yeah, thank you Abhishek for the same. Okay, HR, no issues. Please continue your work. And it's good that you are here. What I'm saying, red color of the blood is actually given by hemoglobin. So we have all the answers over here, and we know that WBC is actually helping in the fighting against the infection. So very good everyone, you all are correct. Next, if I talk about platelets, what are they? Platelets are actually known as thrombocytes. They are irregular in shape, and again nucleus is absent. You remember RBCs, if I talk about the structure of RBCs, in RBCs nucleus was not there, in WBC it was present, and again in the platelets this nucleus is absent. Now if I talk about its production, it is again done by bone marrow. Moving forward, if I talk about the lifespan of this platelets, it is 3 to 5 days. Its function is actually, it reacts to bleeding from the blood vessel injury by clumping and thereby initiating a blood clot. So for the blood clot part, this platelets plays a significant role. So platelets, fibrinogen, vitamin K, whatever you get in the option, that would be correct. Just take it that they are helping in the blood clotting. Now my question is changing. My question will be, if I will talk about my body, within my body, these clumping is not done. Why? Why blood doesn't clot within the body? Who can give this answer? We have discussed this in the morning session, in which we were discussing about different SSC examinations. There we discussed why your blood doesn't clot within your body. What is that particular thing because of which blood is not clotting? Who can tell me? Abhishek, it's me. Udbhav, Ankit, who will tell me that why blood is not clotting? Now this is the important question. Again, this was asked in several examinations, CHSL, CPO, then there is LDC. There are several examinations where this question is already asked, not only for the SSC, other exams as well. Please remember, yeah, Abhishek, that's true. That is actually your heparin. Because of the presence of heparin, your blood is not clotting. Fine. But if I talk about its, yeah, Ankit is also correct, totally correct. But please remember, if I talk about its clotting factor, then option may be platelets, fibrinogen or vitamin K. These would be correct. So it's awesome, Abhishek, that you have given the answer in the first go. Then it's Pintu also has given the correct answer. Very good. Now talking about lymph. What is lymph? Lymph is actually liquid. Now, what is this liquid doing? We were talking about immunity, isn't it? So let's have a discussion on this. Lymph is present in the lymphatic system. It is colorless fluid which contains specialized lymphocytes which are responsible for the immune responses of the body. It is an important carrier of several hormones, several nutrients. So for immune responses, it is actually helpful. Now, talking about the transfusion of blood. But before moving on this part, I have a point. Please remember, if someone asks you about the blood group, what is blood group? Can you tell me the name of that particular person who actually discovered this blood group? Let's see who has this answer. Who was the one who has actually discovered this blood group? I'll give you a hint. His name starts from Carl. And everyone is requested to kindly like this session and share it. Yeah, I was saying blood group. So blood group was discovered by Carl Landsteiner, and when Carl Landsteiner discovered that, in the starting we were only aware of A, B, AB and O. Fine. Now, yeah, Abhishek, totally correct. So we were aware of only these particular blood groups. Now what happened? In the later years, there was an experiment which was conducted on a monkey, and that monkey's name was Rhesus macaca. From the name of that monkey, Rhesus, RH word came, and that was known as RH factor. So that particular protein which was there in Rhesus macaca, if it is present in our body, we are considered as positive. If that is not present, we are considered as negative. So here you can have a look. A, so there is A positive, A negative. Then for B, we have B positive, B negative. For O, we have O positive, O negative, and similarly for AB, AB positive and AB negative. Simple. So HR Abhishek, you were correct. Good. Here. So if I talk about the transfusion, it is actually important for the blood cells to match while transfusing. Donor recipient compatibility is actually necessary. Why? What will happen if any of the blood can be given to anyone? That's not possible. The reason behind it is, if a person with blood group, we'll take the example O. If the blood group O negative requires blood and we give O negative person A negative blood, what will happen? Their clot will be made, blood's clumping will be done, and because of that clumping, here clumps will be made and blood will not be allowed to travel. And since circulation will stop, this will lead to instant death. So it is very important to check this. Now, how this clumping is done? Actually, there are several antibodies. Antibodies, whichever are present in the blood, it is actually checked which antibodies are actually denying the blood to enter. So for that, we have what? These blood groups, if I talk about them, O negative can donate blood to anyone, whether it is O positive, A negative, whatever it is. It is known as universal donor. If I talk about AB positive, it can take blood from anyone. No one is going to deny. Anyone can give it. That's why it is known as universal recipient. So here coagulation inside the blood will happen if other blood is given. That's true, Abhishek. That's true. So we have a condition over here. Which particular blood group can give blood to whom? So here it actually depends upon the antibodies and antigens. Fine. So yeah, you are totally correct. Awesome, Abhishek. That was true. So if we are giving an example, a person of blood group A can receive blood either from blood group A or O, as there are no such antibodies for A and O in the blood group A. So it actually depends which kind of antibody is there. So it's very, very important to check. whom we are giving the blood. Fine. Is it okay now? I guess the issue is resolved. Am I audible? Waiting for the comment. Am I audible? Abhishek, Om, HR. Am I audible right now? I guess now I am audible, isn't it? Waiting for you all. Waiting for you all. Then we'll be still no sound is there. Yeah, cool. Now I'm audible, isn't it? Okay, fine. So what I was saying, to which group of blood a universal recipient belongs? So here we were having four different options. Here we have already discussed, if I'll talk about AB group, it can receive blood from anyone. But if I'll talk about O group, it can donate blood to anyone. That's why O group is universal donor and AB group is universal recipient. So I'm writing here, O group is actually universal donor and it can receive from anyone. That's why it is universal recipient. Fine. So here option number D would be correct. It was obvious? Yeah. So HR, Abhishek, Pintu, Om, Udhav, you all were correct. Yeah. Moving forward now. Talking about the transfusion of blood, now there may be an issue. What issue? If mother is actually Rh negative and there's a baby, that is fetus, we are talking about the small baby, if his blood group is Rh positive, this could be fatal for fetus. How? It can actually create anemia or jaundice to the baby and this condition is known as erythroblastosis fetalis. This is the condition. So in the examination it is asked, if there is an issue erythroblastosis fetalis, what is the specific condition for that? So please remember, mother should be Rh negative and father should be Rh positive. Now what does this mean? If father is having the blood group O positive, A positive, AB positive or AB positive, anything. If mother is having the blood group O negative, A negative, B negative or AB negative. Now if they are having a baby, so here there may be the condition in which the fetus may suffer from anemia or jaundice. Fine. So this is the issue which is known as erythroblastosis fetalis. This is the important condition. Please remember because it is asked in the examination. It's very important. Now, this was all about blood. So Priya has joined us. Hello Priya, how are you? And everyone is requested to kindly like this session and share it as much as possible because it is going to be very beneficial for the CGL exam. Yeah. So now we'll discuss about the organs of blood circulation. We have discussed about blood. What was that? What was the pH scale? What is RBC, WBC, platelets? We have discussed everything. Now we'll be understanding how actually blood is circulating within our body. Now you must be wondering, sir, is this heart? We have always seen that heart was quite like this, isn't it? What we used to do, in the 14th Feb, we used to make something like this. We used to write someone's name over here, XYZ, and one name over here, and we used to send that letter and all, isn't it? But in the reality, this is not the real heart. Real heart is this one. Fine. Now you must be seeing that this heart is quite tilted in nature. It's slightly tilted leftwards. So here, if I'll talk about my heart, we say that our heart is beating on the left side. It is actually beating on the left side because it is slightly tilted. It's not that your heart is on the left side. No, it's actually in the center, but it is slightly tilted in the left side. That's why you can feel the beat over there. Here we are discussing about the heart. So as already told to you, it is actually in the between part. That is your in between. It is actually tilted in the left side. That's why we feel the heartbeat on the left hand side. Talking about human circulatory system, it is consisting of the network of arteries and veins. Then there is capillaries. What are these? You can see this reddish structure, blue structure. Let me tell you. Abhishek saying that it is dhoka. So actually, this is not dhoka. Pyar was actually dhoka. Fine, that love and all is actually dhoka. So I'll not go more in that. Let's come back again. So what I was saying, there are several pipe-like structures. Those are vessels which are arteries, veins and capillaries. Now you must be looking at this diagram, must be wondering, sir, are we having the same color in our body as well? No. These vessels are not this bluish and reddish. There is no such separation. Fine. This is only for the clarity. What I'm saying, these are actually the vessels in which arteries carry oxygenated blood. Arteries actually carry oxygenated blood. This means we are having the blood with oxygen's level higher. In the similar way, if I talk about veins, it is having the blood in which oxygen's quantity is less, that is deoxygenated blood. Pintu is saying absolutely right, sir. Yeah. And then there are capillaries. So capillaries are very, very thin. Then if I talk about the veins, they are quite wider, and arteries are very much wide. So here, please remember, oxygenated blood, that is the blood with the more oxygen, is actually carried by arteries. With lesser oxygen, it is carried by veins. So along with the heart pumping blood through it, what is the primary role? Its primary role is to provide the essential nutrients, minerals and hormones to various parts of the body. So it's very important that vessel must be there which will be connecting whole body, and these are the ones. Now, if I talk about the heart, as already told to you, where Abhishek was saying that it is actually dhoka, that was not dhoka. It was actually a mind that was working at that time. There were several hormones, dopamine, throttling, which were actually saying that leave all these studies, only this girlfriend is important. And girls were thinking only this boyfriend is important, studies are not important. That was not your issue. That is actually our age issue. And in that particular age, we have certain hormones which are on the peak level, which we are talking about dopamine and throttling. We will be having discussion on that as well when we will be discussing in the next week about hormones and glands. So we will be having detailed discussion there. Let's come back to our topic. What I'm saying, heart is situated in the thoracic cavity between the two lungs, and it is slightly tilted to the left. That's why we feel the heartbeat in the left side. Yeah. So heart is having 4 chambers, 2 relatively small upper chambers called atria and 2 lower chambers known as ventricles. Just have a look at this diagram. On our right side, this is right atrium. This is again on the right side, right ventricle. Left side, left atrium, and this is left ventricle. Now I am going to explain you one by one how actually blood is circulating. Let's move forward. Before moving forward, I just want to ask you one thing. Are you aware of what is open circulatory and what is closed circulatory system? In the open circulatory system, there are no such vessels. We were discussing about arteries, veins, capillaries. They are not there. So I have a question now. Just have a look. Which among us the following has open circulatory system? Cockroach, human, prawn. These are 3 options. You must be knowing what is cockroach. Who are humans? We are humans, right? Prawns are actually aquatic animals. Some of the prawns can be eaten as well. So let's see who can give this answer. This was asked in SSC CPO 2017. Which would be the correct option? Which of the following has an open circulatory system? Which among us the following has open circulatory system? Om is saying, sir, A, that is 1 and 2, cockroach and humans. Okay. Udbhav is with A, Then Pintu, Abhishek, Priya, open circulatory system. Priya is with A, that is cockroach and humans. Okay. Priya, we have seen that heart, isn't it? Pintu is also with 1 and 2. And everyone is requested not to copy each other's answers. Just use your brain. Just use your brain. Just think, if there would be no arteries and veins within our body, is it possible for humans? No. We have just seen the heart's diagram in which arteries and veins were there. Our body is actually closed circulatory system in which those vessels are there, arteries and veins. But this is not so with the cockroach and prawns. So that means 1 and 3, they are having the open circulatory system. If I talk about the humans, humans are having closed circulatory system because we are having arteries, we have veins. Yeah. I guess am I sorry, I guess I am audible now, isn't it? Yeah. So what I was saying, arteries are actually carrying the oxygenated blood and veins are carrying deoxygenated blood. Now comes the important part, very, very important. Please remember, this is going to play a significant role in the examination. And here, what I'm saying, again, sound is not there. Please, here I want the sound. So, can anyone tell me? I'm audible now? Yeah. So what I was saying, this is actually the structure of heart. This is the lungs. Now, how actually blood is circulating? This is important. Cool. So what I was saying, we are already aware of, I'll take black color over here. Heart is having 4 chambers. This is the right side and this one is the left side. So this is actually your right atrium. This one is your right ventricle because above part is atria, downward is ventricle. In the similar manner, this is left atria, this is left ventricle. So this much is clear. Now what we are going to do, we'll be understanding how blood is circulating. See, what happens, deoxygenated blood actually enters, that is the blood with lesser amount of oxygen enters into your heart. Where it comes, first of all, it enters the right atrium. As soon as it enters the right atrium, from the bicuspid valve, it enters into the right ventricle. Please just leave everything behind. Just leave everything behind for the 2 minutes. Try to understand this. From right atrium, blood is entering. it goes through bicuspid valve. See, from word bi, that means two. From bicuspid valve, it enters the right ventricle. From right ventricle, your blood will go from here. Now, what is this? This is actually your pulmonary artery. What I am saying, please remember this term, pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. This is actually exception. Why? We discussed arteries always carry pure blood. But here we are getting impure blood, that is deoxygenated blood, and deoxygenated blood is taken by this artery, and this is known as pulmonary artery, which is the exception. From here, blood actually reaches the lungs, and lungs are doing what? We are taking in, that is breathing in and breathing out. When we breathe in, we get oxygen's quantity, and from here, because of the presence of lungs, our blood gets oxygen. This means our blood is oxygenated now. How blood is oxygenated? Again, I am saying, from right atrium, impure blood was there, which went to right ventricle. From pulmonary artery, which is the exception, because artery always carries pure blood, but here it is carrying impure blood. It reaches your heart, it reaches your lungs, which is actually providing you the oxygen. It is providing you the oxygen, which means your blood is now oxygenated. Now, oxygenated blood actually comes into your left atrium first, but how it is coming? It is coming through your pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein. Now, this vein is important because this is the only vein which is carrying the pure oxygen, pure blood. What I am saying, vein used to carry impure blood, correct? But here it is carrying the pure one, that is the oxygenated blood. That's why it is again exception. From here the blood enters left atrium. From this tricuspid valve it is reading left ventricle, and from left ventricle this aorta, and through aorta the pure blood is actually circulated in whole body. Only this much is important for understanding this concept, and all the questions can be ticked. What type of question can be asked? First of all, blood reaches what? First of all, blood is reaching right atrium. Fine. Bicuspid valve lies between what? So it is between right atrium and right ventricle. Which is that particular artery which is carrying impure blood? Exception. Which one? Pulmonary artery. Which is that particular artery which is carrying the impure blood? That is pulmonary artery. And which is that vein which is carrying pure blood? That is pulmonary vein. So all these questions are covered from this particular diagram itself. Is it clear? If it is clear, please let me know. If it is clear, please let me know, because this is very, very important. If it is not clear, I'll be telling you once again. So pre-op into HR, is this clear? Everyone. I want answer from everyone, only then I am going to proceed. Only then I'll proceed. No issues. Whatever questions are left, we will be covering in the marathon session tomorrow. No issues with that, but this concept must be clear. Cool. Awesome. So if it is clear, you all can give thumbs up now, or you can give Pepsi also. And yes, please like the session and share it. Yeah. So what I was saying, this was actually your circulatory system. Now I'm talking about the application. This exam for application is having the live paid courses with the test series. Job alerts are there. There are several tests. You can attempt many things free of cost. There are daily current affairs, monthly current affairs. Just use it. How? Just go to the Play Store, type Exampor, click on the install button. Just open it, do the registration, start using it. Simple. And the most important announcement is, you are having the UPSSC PET Master Test Series at just ₹1. Use the code PET99 and you can use this particular test series. Yeah. So there's a question for you all. Dash is a straw-colored viscous fluid consisting nearly 55% of the blood. What would be the correct answer? Dash is the straw-colored viscous fluid consisting nearly 55% of the blood. What will be the correct answer? We discussed what? If I'm talking about blood, blood was divided into two parts. One was the liquid part, that was plasma. Another was blood corpuscle, and that was including what? Blood corpuscle was including RBC, then there was WBC, and then there were platelets. Remember? So here, plasma was what? Plasma was 55% and this corpuscles were 45%. So yes, we have answers here. Om is with A, Priya is with A, Udbhav is with A, Pintu is with A. You all are correct. The correct answer is plasma. Next, a healthy human has an average of what number of RBCs? A healthy adult man has an average of dash in millions of RBCs, millimeter cube of the blood. Is it 5 to 5.5? Is it 4 to 4.5? Is it 3 to 3.5? Or is it 6 to 6.5? Question is from CGL 2017. Yes, true. So it's 5.5 million. So option number A would be correct. Next question. Another name of platelets is what? We have understood. What? If I talk about this erythrocytes, it is what? It is your RBC. If I talk about platelets, it is what? Platelets are actually your thrombocytes. And if I talk about leukocytes, they are what? They are actually your WBCs. Correct? So here, Priya has given answer B. That is your erythrocytes. No, Priya. So sorry. Your answer is quite wrong. But no issues. If you are wrong here in the examination, it is going to be very helpful. See, if I talk about leukocytes, they are actually WBCs. You can have a trick over here. Just start. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. E is for RBC. L for WBC and thrombocyte for platelets. So this is important. So here we'll be getting answer thrombocytes. So tomorrow morning we'll be having marathon session from 9 to 12. For the science we'll be having mixed question over there. So let's see how much you can give the correct answer. So I'll be waiting for you all in the marathon session tomorrow, and this marathon session will be taken till the evening. Fine. Apart from me, there will be other faculties who are going to join you, and you know each and every faculty. Fine. So we'll be waiting tomorrow at 9. So bye-bye everyone. Please take care. And yes, in the comment section, I'll be waiting for you all. Kindly tell me how was the session. Fine. So bye-bye. Please take care.